Alright, so now that we have the coilovers installed, we are going to actually get the car up on the hub stands and mark off where we want the car sitting in the garage. After that, I'll torque everything down, get the cars back on its wheels, roll it out, and we are going to then get the corner balancing scales and the scale leveling pads out and set them up on the floor. The plan is to mark them off on the floor and leave them leveled, so that way whenever I have to take them out again, I don't have to re-level everything. All I have to do is check. So once that's all level, we'll bring the car back in, put them back on the hub stands, and then get that on top of the corner scales. And then we can begin to align the car. So there's quite a bit to do today. It's about 11 o'clock, and hopefully we can get done. We'll see what happens. Okay, we're going to start by getting the rear of the car up on the hub stands first. Chose the rear because the car does have an LSD, so I think that could prove challenging when trying to get the hub stands to sit flat on the ground. They could be slightly clocked or phased by 30 degrees or whatever. So I figured it'd be best to do that with the front tires still on. So we'll go ahead and jack up one corner right now and see what happens. So the instructions say to torque the lugs down to 30 foot-pounds, so I'll go ahead and do that right now. Perfect, so definitely a little bit of give in the drivetrain, so you could tell that that the hub stand was kind of clocked a little bit, and as it came down, it leveled out. So it's great. So let's go ahead and do the other side now. All right, we're all ready to go ahead and lift the front. Okay, that is all four wheels on the hub stands. Alright, so now I want to position the car in an ideal spot and mark off where the hub stands are, which I will then use to line up my leveling plates. Right now all the hub stands are locked out, meaning the loads are being carried by the four kind of standoffs. I'm going to loosen those and raise them up so that the load goes onto the ball bearings. And I should be able to then just roll the car around inside the garage. So we'll go ahead and try that right now. Okay, I think all the standoffs have been raised, and we should be able to just move the car here. So right now I think the car is kind of pointed at an angle like that, and I really just want to bring the rear over to the left, so we'll give that a shot. Okay, that's lined up pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and mask off all four corners so that I know where to put my leveling plates after this.
Okay, so these are pad levelers, and inside of the pad leveler there's a scale or corner scale, and that's what we're going to use to corner balance the car. You can do a DIY alignment without level floor. Just understand that it's not the ideal way to align a car. Realistically, you want a perfectly level floor, and if you take your car to an alignment shop, you should always ask and make sure that they have leveled out their alignment rig, because it can skew off the readings. So that's what we're going to do with these pad levelers. I'm going to go ahead and set up to level that front left pad, and then we're going to use a very long level to level all the other corners to that pad. So we'll go ahead and start doing that right now. So now that I have my front pad level, I want to level the rest of my 3 pads to that front pad, right? We can't have them all at different, even though they're flat, we can't have them all at different heights. So we've got a very, very long level now, and we're going to then adjust the height of this pad over here to match that, so that they are both, this pad is at the same height and is level to that pad. And that process will continue across the rest of the pads until they're all the same height and the same level. Then we can bring the car back in, put it back on hub stands, jack the car up, and slide these underneath. And then finally we can begin the alignment. So the pad looks level, but it's not matching the pad in front that we have this longer level on, and it looks slightly too high. So I'm gonna drop everything down by maybe a quarter turn or something. Okay, that legit, I think that took like an hour and a half. That was so hard. Leveling shit is so hard. I guess it was also because it was my first time leveling these pads, and over time I think I'll get better at them, or hopefully I don't have to do them as often. So pads are level. The plan here is that I'm gonna just scooch the pads left and right out of the way, pull the car in as close as I can to the spots that we had marked out previously, get the car up, put the hub stands on, and then roll the car into the correct position. So the hub stands will be inside the box. Then jack it up and slide the pads underneath. And hopefully, you know, we're going to be off by maybe a centimeter or an inch on either side. Hopefully it's close enough that it's level. Maybe there's a better way to do it, and if you know a better way of doing it, please let me know, because this is what I've come up with. Alright, that's the front of the car. Now I'm going to do the rear. I'll go ahead and do it off cam. Okay, so all 4 corners are now on the pads. Sweet. I'm going to take some camber measurements and go ahead and adjust some camber here. First things first, we're going to make sure that the steering wheel is as close to center as possible. So we're going to go look at that data logger again. Alright, so to get our steering angle sensor on, we got to power up the car. as the car powers up, I think our Bluetooth's already on, so this should connect here. There we go. So we're at -20. Turn it so that we are at zero. Now I'll go ahead and leave this on the dash so I can monitor it. And let's go measure some camber. Okay, so I went ahead and bounced the car. So I just up in the front, I'll bounce it on the front of the car near the radiator support, and on the rear I'll just bounce it in the trunk. I ultimately got 3.4 for front driver's side, 3.3 for passenger, front passenger, 1.7 for rear passenger, and then 2.3 for rear driver. You know, I think I'm going to try to shoot, because I'm going half a degree. Usually I'm doing half a degree, and a lot of guys are doing 1 degree. Let's shoot for the difference, and let's say 0.7 degrees differential. So this is 3.4. We're going to do 2.7 in the rear. And I think that might just be close to max for this setup. So before I go and do any camber adjustments, what I'm first going to do is go get my weight in weights upstairs and load them into the car. So that way the alignment is set for when I'm in the car. Okay, so went upstairs, got some weights, got 2 45s and 2 25s, so that's what, 140 pounds. And then down in the footwell, we got 30 pounds. So that's 170 here. I weigh about 175. So maybe I'll throw another 5 pounds up front. Car is roughly at half a tank, and I don't tend to run under half a tank at the track, so I've got additional 10 pounds to simulate fuel in the back of the car. It also has the spare in there, which I tend to remove at the track. So think of the spare as a ballast for fuel as well. Well, it's getting late in the day, and to be honest, I don't think we're going to finish in the time that we have left. We still have to set right height, set camber, set toe, corner bounce the car, double check toe and camber. And that's kind of like, you kind of play around with that in a circle to make sure everything's in the right place. So it's maybe about 4:30 in the evening, and the sun sets here at 7:30, so I've got 3 hours, and I personally just don't think that's enough time. So what I am going to do is lower the ride height by an arbitrary amount and just see how the car rides, and then we can make that one of the first things we do tomorrow. Just because the car was sitting kind of high this morning after the coilover install, and I really don't know what height I want the car to be at actually, so I figured we'll take the chance to lower it and just see how it looks, and if it's too aggressive or not aggressive enough, then we can make that the first thing we do tomorrow and get a head start.